Welcome friends, it is I, LostScarf, and it's time for the Short Smite Beginner Guide to Aries, the God of War. He's a really good support at chaining people down and holding them in place for others to kill really badly, especially if you can get a whole team. It's really nice. So what's going to happen here is we're going to go over his classes, roles, how to do them kind of well, go over tips and combos, lightly go over purchases for him, and summarize everything together for beginners. The idea here is to help beginners have an idea of how to play Aries so they can do well with him, because the better everyone gets with every god, the better the game will be in general, so that's the plan there with every guide we make. For advanced and expert players, there's probably not a lot of information here you do not know, but still watch the video so that you can put in the comments anything you feel like I did not say enough on, so that beginners have more information to work with. So now let's get going. Class and roles. Now Aries is a guardian, so he's the tankiest class in the game. They're capable of taking a lot of damage while also dealing out a lot of control in a team fight through CCs and buffs. In Aries' case, you can cripple up to 3 gods, you can pull and stun up to 5 gods, and you give your entire team protection CC reduction using your bolster defenses ability. Now when it comes to roles, for beginners it's definitely support. As a support, Aries is capable of giving defense to minion lines so they can stay alive a little bit longer, and your teammates, and you're constantly a threat with your chains. If you do your chains at the right time with not too many threats on you, you can chain someone for a very long duration of time so they can't jump away or dash away, so your teammates can beat them up. Like a jungler can gank in while you're doing this, or your ADC can go and do some damage while this is going on. You can get kills very effectively and easily with Aries as long as you land your shots. When it comes to team fights, you just use your abilities to prepare enemies to get killed by your teammates or to waste their actives, because chains do cripple. So with that cripple, you have someone being held down for teammates to kill, and your ultimate can pull an entire team, and even if it doesn't pull any of them, you will force them to use abilities like their ultimates or actives to get out of your pulls so that they don't get killed. So Aries is constantly a threat in one way or another. Now when it comes to niche, he can be played in solo. This is the thing you can do. You need Hog, of course, and you need a crap ton of babysitting from your jungler. But it is annoying because Aries chains will hold someone down for ganks for the jungler. That's what happens. Your lane is about killing the enemy soloist. If you have the right setup for it, you're going to get a lot of kills there for either Aries or the jungler, which will be very effective later on in the match. And then of course he's a team fighting threat later on because he's built up like you would with a support. But this is something you do with friends. You don't do that with casuals because it takes a lot of coordination teamwork to do well. You don't just throw it on people. You gotta have a team set up to do it. Aries' abilities. First up is his passive Blessed Presence. Now, the way this works is every aura item Aries owns, he gains 30 magical power. Since supports use a lot of aura items, that fits perfectly with Aries, so he's gonna do pretty well with that. His first ability is called Shackles. This is a skill shot that pierces minions and applies a cripple, damage over time, and slow to an enemy god when hit. What's great about Shackles is, if you land that shot, you can shoot another shackle within 2 seconds of that last shackle, and if you land that second shackle, you can do a third. So you can keep your shackles going for a very long time for a lot of damage. It is really nice. His second ability is called Bolster Defenses. This is a AoE cast around him that gives teammates protections and CC reduction. If Aries has enemy shackled, the bonus is even stronger, so you can be aggressive and defensive at the same time with this ability. Then there's his third ability, Searing Flesh. This is a channeling cone attack that you can do in front of you while you're moving, and it lasts for 4 seconds. Every 0.5 seconds you're dealing damage, and it also does a percentage of maximum health of victims as well, so you can use this to soften people up or an entire crowd up. It's very nice to do. And lastly is his ultimate, No Escape. This is an AoE attack around Aries. He puts chains into all the enemy gods around him, and after 2.5 seconds of channeling, he will pull them to his location and stun them. The more gods pulled, the longer the stun lasts. This is the way to get an entire team killed in one go. If you can pull all 5 gods to a location and your teammates have ultimates ready, you will wipe the team. It is an amazing thing to do, and even if you don't wipe the team, you can still make them waste abilities like ultimates and actives to get away from you. So it's a very useful ult. Tips and combos. And unsurprisingly, most of these have to do with Shackle. And the first one is, Shackle can be used on 3 gods at once. You hit one god, then another god, then another god. You have 3 gods crippled now. That could really help your team out with big AoE attacks. Another tip is, you want to cast Shackles every 2 seconds to maximize damage. It's not easy to do. You want to keep count between Shackles to help you maximize that. And it's just a matter of timing to do it right. But there's another way to do it, and that is alternatively, you can cast Shackle, do a basic attack Shackle for more damage and maintaining timing. Because the time between basic attacks and doing shackles is close to the 2 seconds, so you can do it the whole way through. So you can do that without thinking so much. Getting the timing down will take some time, but that is one way to just help you out with it. Another is, don't forget that Shackle cripples, so you can cripple people down for ganks. This is really nice for that. Another is, use bolster defenses often in team fights. Don't forget that move. That is really good at keeping your team alive. And last two have to do with the no escape ultimate. That is, don't just focus on using no escape to get kills. Sometimes you want to use it early so you can force your opponent to use their actives and ultimates to get away from you. That way they won't have them later on, which will be very helpful to the team. And lastly, though no escape is an AoE attack, it does not go through walls. And I mean this by casting. When you're casting on someone, if they're on the other side of a wall, it won't go through to get them. If you get somebody with the chains and they go around a wall, it still will pull them. It's just during casting time, it won't work. Now, when it comes to combos, there's really only one kind of combo with ultimate mixed in. That is 1-3-4-4-1-3. That is, you hit someone with all three shackles, or multiple people with all three shackles, then burn them, and then use your ultimate to pull them back to your location. The other way about it is, you jump in, use your ultimate to pull them to your location, then shackle the cripple as many of them as possible, and then burn them down. And then, if you don't get the kills, your teammates should be getting them. Now, this last combo is advanced because it requires max cooldown to do, and this is likely you'll do in Arena more so than Conquest because you're going to be building auras. But it is 1-3-4-1-3. With max cooldown, you can shackle and burn someone, and then pull them with the ultimate, and if you did your durations correctly, you'll have shackle and burn ready to do again. So you can cause a lot of mayhem using this combo. Purchases for Aries. Fortunately for Aries, like I said before, supports use a lot of aura items, so that works out for Aries. But what you want to keep in mind is, what aura should you get? That's really what's important. That is really dependent on what you're fighting. If you're fighting a lot of magical damage, then get magical defense first. If you're fighting a lot of physical damage, physical defense first. That's basically it. Then there's like more niche things like anti-heal, or anti-attack speed, stuff like that. You just want to know what is the biggest threat to your team, and that takes time to figure out. And once you do, build defensive towards that. That's really all you got to do. And since you have that aura bonus, you're still getting damage while building defense, so you're always a threat. Now, when it comes to actives, you're always going to have Hog 3 for objective secure. The other active is up to you. The most popular, though, is Blink, so you can jump in and cause a bunch of mayhem very quick and easily with Aries, so that's something to consider. Also, if you want to be a bit aggressive, you can consider getting proc items because he does so many DOTs. In conclusion, Aries is more of an aggressive support. Most supports, they use CC and other ways to obstruct their opponents, but Aries does it through attacking. He attacks with chains, he attacks with fire, he attacks with his ultimate. Everything about him is attacking to defend, and then of course he does have his defensive auras, which are really nice, but it's always about aggressively hurting the enemy to make them not want to pursue pretty much. That's what he does, and that really relies on being accurate with your shackles and knowing when to use your ultimate and also the timing of your shackles as well. If you know what you're doing and do it well, your enemy's just going to become a pile of nothing as your teammates just kill them all in seconds. So that right there is the guide for Aries. Up next is going to be Artemis. That should be a lot of fun, the ADC, who can wreck things within seconds. She's got traps, she's got arrows, she's got a cute little board to wreck things up. It's going to be really great to go over her. But there you go, that is the guide. I had fun, hope you had fun watching, and that is what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun, thanks for coming by, and see you next time!